Hello there, it's Critical, and it's time to have a look at Starfleet Academy, or Starfleet Atrocity, Episode 6. Now, this, I hate to tell you this, it's not going to be a profanity-filled rant against anti-Trek kind of, well, this. This is just quite simply a badly written episode of Star Trek. So I'm going to take it apart because it is really badly written and there's some really bad, stupid decisions made in it. But I'm going to be calmer this time. So let's have a look. After again being reminded that this is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek and this is what we have to celebrate it with, we start off with a sex scene with some horrible, horrible, horrible music over the top of it. Make sure you note the completely 2026 water bottles and remind yourself that this is meant to be 1,000 years in the future. And Caleb and Terima are in bed, they're shagging, and in between the shagging they're talking, and it's just desperately trying to convince us that these two characters really have any chemistry when they don't. But yeah, I mean, basically just a load of inane talk. I won't really bother detailing any of here. And then she does some weird mindy stuff, and she takes him off to a place full of flowers. This is obviously a happy mental space, and there's flowers everywhere. Then she gets a bit deep into his mind and sees stuff that he didn't want her to see. And obviously being a guarded person, he gets upset by that. That ends the session, as it were. I kind of get the character work you're trying to do here. But at the same time, we don't really need sex scenes in Star Trek for a start. Maybe you need to give the intimacy coordinator something to do. But a little bit unnecessary here, especially with the awful music that we get. I mean, this kind of contemporary music thing that they've got going with Star Trek, especially for this new show, is just awful. He's upset with her. They part on bad terms. So after that, they get called to the main hall of the Athena because apparently there's like a training exercise going on. And this is, again, a little bit difficult because in the past, these training exercises would always be done on a holodeck or something like that. For this one, they've gone to a starship graveyard out in deep space, just been using it as like a training ground. Why don't you just do holodecks? I don't know. I can understand the War College. They're prepared for the war side of things, they're the military aspect. But for some reason, they're doing all the other one as well. And there's a ship called the USS Miyazaki, which I like, nice reference to the Studio Ghibli director and legend there. But apparently this ship's been destroyed by a series of mechanical failures, and it's got a rare singularity drive on it. Obviously, this is the kind of thing that you want to leave out in deep space where anybody can get it. It's also the kind of thing that you want to send a load of cadets on for missions. You don't want to tow it back somewhere safer or anything like that. So basically what it's going to be is two teams, blue team and red team. Blue team go out to the ship and red team stay on the Athena and kind of control things there. So they're going to get things sorted on their end. And as they go out there, it's crazy. I mean, in blue team, the War College are all white and the Academy are all black. In red team, you've got Remy, Genesis and Captain Sadness working on the bridge, and then some more people who've got going around accompanying the Doctor, basically, including some people that you're not going to get to see again because they're walking down the corridor and they're gone. There's some black dude there, and he's like, you see him again in the episode. It's about getting the cadets to learn to work together, and I get that. I mean, that's a Star Trek thing, so that's fine. On the blue team, you've got this older commander guy, Commander Tovak. You've got the Romulan guy from the War College who starts giving us backstory, and you've got Kyle, who's obviously Jason's boyfriend. The white guy, I can tell you already, even without knowing what happened to him in a series, without having no idea at all, is Dead Man Walking. I can tell you that. White straight guy, masculine, authoritative, officer-like, yeah, he's going to be dead. We're getting a suspicious amount of dialogue from the Vulcan guy, so I'm worried about him as well. But anyway, the Vulcan guy says there was a guy who used to read like comics, starships and their crew and their adventures. 1,000 years in the future, we're still reading comics. That's probably the most believable thing. And they're going over on a shuttle to go over to the Miyazaki. Why they're not beaming over? No idea. No, we're just going to fly a shuttle through this space graveyard in the middle of nowhere. So they land on the Miyazaki and board that. The guy's like, look, I've got a bet that you can get the life support reactivated in 1 minute. And Caleb, because he's Caleb, of course, does it with some programmable matter. And Aki and, oh God, Laura Fokker, making bets as well. Obviously, when Caleb does it, they lose. And Gina, she's just the worst. She just cannot act. She's terrible. I don't know if I'm alone in this opinion. Please let me know, guys, but I think she's awful.
They're already down to 34 seconds. Accepted. Now I'm grumpy.
There's like loads of signals around the ship, and there's people boarding the Miyazaki. There's a cloaked ship out there somewhere, and it's boarding the Miyazaki. But anyway, they're after the salvage. So they take the salvage. So the Furies are getting the salvage. They're taking the cadets hostage. We're going to eat them if you don't pay us. Like 30,000 bars of platinum. Nom, 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 because 1,000 years in the future, we platinum. And they're meant to be all creepy and scary, but I mean, they're basically just generic aliens. But they've got like a flickering effect on their heads. And that takes us up to the titles. And then basically there's a meeting between the three heads. So you've got Aki, you've got Krellick, and you've got the Admiral Vance, who's hologrammed in. So you seem to be able to hologram in from anywhere, because we don't know if Vance is presumably back at Starfleet HQ. But yeah, he can hologram in from anywhere. And basically what they're saying, look, these guys are going to eat their hostages. They're bad, but we can't come in with the fleet because they're just going to kill everybody. So we're going to have to try sort of a sneaky way to do it. Oh, it turns out, coincidence, that Nusbraka had a way to keep the Furies, which is what these guys are called, Furies, terrible, away from his space.
No way. Yes way.
And in case you forgot who Nusbraka is, a little hologram of him comes up, conveniently letting you know, because he's not been in the damn thing for quite a few episodes. So he's like, look, we might have to make a deal with the devil here, because he's got this weapon that gets rid of him kind of thing, and we can make a deal with him and get that sorted. And she's like, all right, I don't like it, but yeah, fine, get him here. And then we get back to the Furies, and they're like, right, we're going to throw one of you out of the airlock. And they're all looking pretty terrified and stuff, including Sam. Bitch, you don't breathe. You can go in the airlock and buy the others time, and they think you're dead, and then you could teleport back into the ship and call somebody or something like that. No. It's up to Commander Tovak to sort it out. So he gives a signal, because obviously they're War College, and they break free. The Vulcan dude sort of attacks when they're least expecting it. They're doing quite well, actually. So they put all the guys in the airlock and then close the door. Rather than activating the airlock, which I would forgive him for in this instance, he just shoots the door panel to stop it, like it's Star Wars. That's not how that works. So more Furies all attack. And basically what happens is Kyle gets hurt and Commander Tovak sacrifices himself. And he really doesn't need to, because he's left behind fighting some Furies, and he manages to fight them off and get rid of them. He can blatantly run away. He's got all the time in the world to go with them and give them the support. But no, he has to sacrifice himself because he's a white guy and he has to die. But he dies like a boss. Stupid boss, but he dies. So he gets ripped apart. And that's it, eating his flesh and stuff. And the other cadets escape to the bridge. So they're on the bridge and they're like, look, seal the doors, because we're going to get attacked. Comms are down, of course. And then Jaden has a moment with his boyfriend. So going on from there, the cadets are trying to work out what to do, kind of thing. There's a bit of dialogue between Caleb and Vulcan. And I like this Vulcan guy is actually growing on me a little bit. I hope he doesn't die. So they're going to try and reactivate the ship. And they can't reactivate the ship. And then Sam reactivates the ship. She just puts her hand into the panel. And she's a MacGuffin, basically. So she can turn the computer back on. And the computer's like, okay, this is fine. And it's making up loads of bollocks. But basically, the ship thinks that the crew are still alive. So it won't accept the new crew. We cut back to the Academy lot. And they see Tovak's body has been thrown out of the airlock. Well, what's left of it. Captain Sadness starts going absolutely mental, and they're like, take her to sickbay. This is the stage where you tell the cadets, go back to bed. You get the serious officers up on the bridge. But no. So we get loads of like slow walking because they're going to get Nusbraka on board. And it turns out Nusbraka's kind of close. He's there in about 5 minutes. So they get Nusbraka on, and Paul Giamatti is having fun, but I can't stand the dialogue. If the dialogue was a little bit better, then this character could actually be quite good, Nusbraka, and didn't have stupid noughts and crosses on the side of his head that he's still got. This could be okay. But no, stupid. And he's actually there as well. He's not hollow beamed over or anything to negotiate. No, he's actually there. So he's there and he's just being a jerk. He's drinking loads of alcohol and he's like, he knows he's got the Federation over a barrel kind of thing. So he's asking for loads of stuff in response for the information. And yeah, there's a bit of dialogue here that if it wasn't for the parlances and the vernacular being used, would make for some interesting Star Trek, but they don't. What he wants is for the Federation to stop delivering or supplying dilithium to his sector of space because it's making him broke. because he can't sell it on at a price he wants to sell on. So Vance is like, right, okay, I'm going to go check with the Federation. Really? You're going to stop supplying the lithium for 6 cadets? You're going to, like, that's a whole system you're talking about. And it's even more egregious because just earlier, the Vulcan guy, I can't remember his name, was saying, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. These writers are spectacularly dense. Anyway, long and short of it, Nusbraka and Ake have a bit of a conversation and just don't like each other. It's as simple as that. So now we go back to Remy and Genesis, and they're trying to find the secret ship that they know's out there somewhere because the Furies must have come from somewhere. We go back to the Miyazaki, and they're all on the bridge, and the cadets are having trouble getting the computer to work so they can secure the bridge. But the computer, for some reason, thinks that it's still back in the past. Basically, and I can't believe I'm saying this, well, they get a comic that details the fate of the Miyazaki and put it on the computer so it can scan it and convince it that its crew's dead and accept this new crew. Oh, so dumb. But even like in the comic, the crew were wearing original series' uniforms. It's only 125 years ago. They weren't wearing those uniforms at the time of the birth. Anyway, Tarima is teleports herself. Well, not teleports herself over. She teleports herself into Caleb's mind, and she's like, "Look, I'm connected to him. They're in trouble. I don't know what we can do for them." We go back to Nusbraka. He's still being an obnoxious twat, but there's some good dialogue between them here in places. And he's talking about how she lost her son. She left her son behind on a ship, and Caleb's like her new son. He's really getting in her mind. He's playing the mind games. There's some good stuff here, actually. In isolation, and without the crude vernacular, this could actually be decent. It could actually be decent. And there's some really obnoxious edits. Like the person who edited this episode, whether or not just trying to pad the runtime, because there's loads of slow walking as well, of course. But some of the edits are unnecessarily long. Nusbraka and Aki are in the room together and he's been doing all this chatting to her. They're like, oh, we need you on the bridge. And she just goes up to the bridge and leaves him down there with access to everything. There's no security. She just leaves him in her room. He could do anything. And she has to go all the way back to the bridge just to talk to Tarima, who's like, yeah, I can see Caleb and I can communicate with him. So what we're going to do, and they explain her implant and everything. They're like, look, what we're going to do, we're going to put her under so she can try and communicate with the crew again. Because Tarima, she's special. She can do stuff, that other Betazoids can't. So we're going to send her in, basically. And we find out that this is how Tarima deafened her father because she couldn't regulate this power that she's got. She's like, oh, God, this again? This again? You're just doing the whole Jean Grey? I'm sure it isn't the first time in Star Trek. And it's like, yeah, okay, feelings, whatever. So we go back to the bridge. The Furies are cutting through the door. The computer, it's talking like a human. It's not talking like a computer. Oh, okay, I've scanned this comic. I believe that the old crew's all dead and you're my new crew. So now I'll do what you want. And it puts the force fields up and cuts off one of the Furies' eyes. So fucking dumb. Anyway, so the force field goes up. The Furies are locked out for now. But obviously it's still only a matter of time until they manage to get by. The Vulcan grabs the gun out of the chopped off hand, so at least they've got like a weapon, and that's where we are for now. And it's just, you've got this kind of mildly interesting action scene, albeit with some very dumb writing, juxtaposed against all this other stuff, and it's just taking too long. We go back, because we can't stay on one scene for more than 2 seconds, to Nala and Nus. They're like, yeah, okay, we're going to stop supplying the lithium, just give us the fucking thing. And he's like, okay, but I want more. I'm going to be an arsehole. I want, more and everything like that. And then Nala's like, look, no, I've had enough of your bullshit because, this Buckley needs to be brought down a couple of pegs. She starts pushing him around and stuff. It's like, you're a bully. So the mind game swings around. Kind of cool. She's pushing him around. She's like, look, just give us the answer because we don't care about you. So he gives him the answer. And he used a sonic weapon. Basically, these Furies are like bats. So he used a sonic weapon to keep them all away from the system. And coincidentally, would you look at this? Starfleet happens to have a starbase nearby that experiments in weaponry, and it's got a ship that's got a sonic weapon.
No way! Yes way!
The Athena's got to disrupt the dish. Sonic weapons are only a matter of frequency. In part of Star Trek, they would just reconfigure the deflector dish. Is this not a thing anymore? 1,000 years in the future? They have no way of replicating a frequency, going through all the different frequencies. A Star Trek solution. Nope, we got to get a spaceship. So Noose flies off in a shuttle, and they don't think he's in a shuttle. He must be in a ship nearby. Why can't we see it? No, the writers are idiots. So now they put Tarima under. She communicates with Caleb, and they've kind of apologised to each other. And she puts over a message. Message is tiny fireflies. Yeah, okay, whatever. They're still looking for the ship on the Athena, and then suddenly the Furies stop trying to break in. Like, oh, what's going on? It's a bit weird. Caleb says to the Vulcan, delivers the message, tiny fireflies. Does that mean anything to you? And the Vulcan's name is Barvey, but they say it like Barbie, another name that just sounds like a contemporary name. But Barvey, yeah, is his name. And he's like, yeah, I know what tiny fireflies means. And then, I need to bear in mind here, we've got 10 minutes left of this episode now. 10 minutes left. The ship, the Sargasso and the Intrepid class ship with the sonic weapons, going to be here any minute. It's all kind of like they're looking for the ship. The Sargasso's about to get there. It's all conveniently lining up at the same time. And Ake's like, what do you know about the space station? It sounds something very wrong here. Get transporters locked on the kids. We're going to get them out, even though we're at red alert and our shields are up. Apparently that's not a problem anymore. And basically they're trying to start the singularity drive. And it's just another one of those, exact timing is required thing. And it's not. They're not selling it. Like, they're not putting the conditions for this timing across properly. It's like, we're going to find the ship at exactly the right moment. We're going to do this at exactly the right moment. We found the ship, and it turns out to be Venari roll. And it's like, Noose Bracker was working. Oh, really?
No way. Yes way.
And they're surprised. So all forward power to the shield. That's all that Ake knows. And the Venari Rail ship, and these ships are like super powerful by the looks of things, disables the Sargasso with a few hits. So Athena starts shooting the Venari Rail ship. Tamira's like, yeah, now, activate the drive now, because this all needs to happen at this exact moment. And they fire up the singularity drive, and it's got these little motes of energy. And she's like, oh, tiny fireflies. Although Sam says tiny fireflies, and like, you need subtitles. I don't know what's wrong with this girl's enunciation, but yeah, it's just like tiny fireflies. Just like, okay, we're going to try and beam the cadets out. Just at that moment, the Furies break through, and they're all like attacking, and the cadets don't really have many weapons or anything like that. And there's a bit of hand-to-hand combat, and they're trying to lock onto the cadets. And like, oh no, they can't. And Sam gets shot. Phasers that won't go through her previously apparently now don't. We cut back to the med bay. Turim has ripped out her neuro blocker thing. She quite literally screams them all to death. There's no other way to put it. So they're in combat. It's all horrible. The Vulcan Bavy gets shot through the chest by one of the Furies trying to save Caleb. They seem to have completely forgotten that Vulcan's hearts are not where human hearts are. That doesn't matter anymore. Forget it. And then, yeah, she screams them all to death because she's sad because everybody's about to die. And yeah, she just, oh, Christ. Even though she's not actually there, she's only in Caleb's mind. She manages to scream. There's no other way to put it. She screams them all to death. They all explode in little bits of blood, and it's dumb. It's really, really dumb. So Barbie's dead. Sam's all glitching out and stuff, and that's the end of it, basically. The Furies are all dead. And then we go back to Aki, and Vance is like, look, we got played big time, because as soon as the Sargasso left the space station, the Venari Rail attacked the space station because it had no other defences apart from the Sargasso, which he managed to get diverted away with its sonic. Oh God, the writing!
Could we take a break for a while? It appears my intelligence circuits have melted.
Yeah, in 20 minutes, the station was boarded and ransacked. It just couldn't hold out. This bracker's basically got on there and stolen something, and they don't know what because it's all classified. I mean, I would suggest getting it unclassified immediately so they can find out. We're told Discovery's collecting escape pods. The Admiral did say earlier that there was 5 ships at warp that were a light year away. Don't know why I haven't done anything with those. Probably because the writers forgot. But yeah, basically, Nusbracker is now just like the most wanted man in the quadrant. As simple as that. The vendetta's on kind of thing. Like Nusbracker's going to pay for it. And Nusbracker holograms into her quarters because apparently you can just do that really easily and taunts her. And then we go and we see that Bavy is actually dead. So I would just like to let you know here, the only 2 straight white males in the show both got killed. Sure it's just a coincidence. And that's it. And Sam's still glitching and they're like, oh, she's going to be all right eventually or whatever. But yeah, she kind of messed up at the moment. Tarima, her body is stable, but everything else is like on mind. It was all like being done in slow motion as well. It's so obnoxious. And it's just, She's basically in a coma. And yeah, that's it. And they keep cutting back from Maka and Bracker and the med bay, and it's all very, very sad. That's the end of it. Like, Ms. Bracker just ends up saying, look, I want to thank you for teaching me to hate you because you're the best teacher I've ever had. And that's it. That really is it. So that's the end of the episode. It actually felt like Star Trek. I'm not going to lie. This one actually felt like Star Trek. It felt like awful Star Trek. It's really badly written. So many stupid events that have to happen so the rest of the plot can happen. They haven't thought about it. There's no science behind it. And the idea that you can trick a comic into thinking that its crew or acknowledging that its crew are actually dead by reading a comic is one of the most stupid things I think I've seen. But on top of that, they take these cadets out into... There's no security on board the Athena from what I've seen. There's no actual officers on board the Athena, apart from those that we rarely now and again see on the bridge, and the teachers. It doesn't feel like a ship. The Athena doesn't feel like a ship. It's one of the biggest problems. We've not seen engineering. We see medical, but it's part of the school. There's nothing convincing us that this is what it says it is, and there's no security.
That does not make sense.
They don't think about... Nobody's thought about putting this show together from an overall perspective. Nobody's thought about, again, the word that I struggle to say, what my Burnett uses, verisimilitude, that it needs to read as believable. What they're doing makes Starfleet look extremely incompetent. I can understand that and believe that maybe the War College for the last few years has been using that ship in the middle of nowhere. Why wouldn't Starfleet, and it's got an experimental singularity drive on it that broke, why haven't Starfleet towed this to a more safe area of space? Like our solar system.
Does that make sense?
Why are they going light years away? And obviously the ships teleport. The ships teleport all over the place. They're there. Wherever they need to be, the ships are there immediately. How far away is the space station? Don't know. Distance means nothing. Yeah, they send these cadets off to this. I can't understand cadets doing hand-on stuff. You can't necessarily do everything on the holodeck. I get that. But, Starfleet's just stupid. They are just stupid. Newsbracker turns up in 5 minutes flat on a shuttle, and they don't go, I wonder if he's with these guys at the ship we can't find.
What, are you retarded?
Yeah, bad. Turima reads them all to death with screams through the mind, even though she's only connected to Caleb. Nobody else is affected by the sonic weapon at all. Okay, great. Yeah, she's got magic powers. Caleb's still able to do anything technical immediately. Sam, also just a walking MacGuffin, able to activate computers by putting a hand in them. Jaden is there to be gay and be with Kyle. Kyle's there to be gay and not be killed. Tovak was there to die. That's what you get for being a straight white male. Same with Bavi. And he was like one of the only characters I actually like. I mean, there's moments, Caleb's not... he's a Gary Stew, as they call him. He's not terrible. Some of the characters are terrible. I think that Sam the Hologram is an awful character. Genesis is just turning plain. She's just that perky little girl... great at things. Remy could have been a good character, but he's basically the same thing now. Like these characters don't have arcs. There are no arcs in this. All the characters are just a flat line. So yeah, it wasn't horrible. Anti-Star Trek. It was just a bad episode of Star Trek. New Trek. I'm sorry that I didn't absolutely lose my mind. Maybe we've actually... It's so obvious that a different writer has done this. It's so obvious that Tawny Newsom's fingerprints are nowhere on this. Absolutely nowhere. This is chalk and cheese to the last episode. Black and white. Chirena's face. Literally, they could not be more different, apart from the fact that the writing is still garbage. But yeah, apart from a load of stuff that didn't make sense and some cringeworthy dialogue, which you're all going to see in the Supercut, it wasn't the worst piece of crap I've ever seen. It really wasn't. It still doesn't measure up to even the average of the real Star Trek episodes. But I didn't absolutely detest this with every fibre of my being. I just thought this is just more modern day crap Star Trek. So that's it, guys. Please enjoy the Supercut, and if you've liked what I've done here, then consider dropping me a sub. In the meantime, obviously I will be back with episode 7 next week, and anything else I managed to get produced in the meantime. And until then, I have been Chris Cal. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.
UFO don't really do this often. Plus I forgot all the controls. GPS, no ETA, I don't know what I'm doing. Now my world's exploded, I was hoping.
These weird Delton, tambourines.
No.
Yes.
No, family tambourine dancing?
Yes, family tambourine dancing.
You could have at least warned me.
I
mean, you
just
go
said...
around, because that's not cool.
We will be using that ship, the USS Miyazaki.
We'll use Starfleet's newest plasma-based life support system and travel over via shuttle.
Attention, cadets. Once you have finished your Miyazaki shift, please report to the Cadet Master.
Federation propaganda. Feel-good colonizing bullshit. Brainwash poor kids and
Show that all systems and sensors are nominal. They are approaching the...
They're already down to 34 seconds. Accepted. Now I'm grumpy.
Well done, Mir. Life support is online. You may deactivate your plasma shields.
Of the United Federation.
What else do we know about them?
Almost nothing, except they're human, alien hybrids. Scrot killed 19 guards. The enemy of our enemy.
He's usually just another enemy. This one's an asshole.
Who goes out of the airlock first?
Are you sure you are not part Klingon?
What?
You heard that asshole earlier. He was gonna send a message to Athena by...
A famous officer once said, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
No, not dead, just sleeping.
Number one.
They killed him.
Space Boo, my solar flame, my interstellar bestie. The hills are alive with the sound of murder, and I'm just whacked, spanked, and ready to be a diplomat. Oh, that is a slippery cat piss aftertaste. Ball clenching, sphincter puckering pain all the time. The only relief they get is to just spooge it all over other people. And if he wanted, he got to beat the shit out of me hourly. You want me to tell you how to get rid of that batshit cannibal out there? Stop supplying dilithium to Taychetta 1.
Target.
Cadet Live, I've read your file. You use your eyes with the precision of a Hengra.
Computer, read media input 737. Look at its metadate. Start at 898.898.3.
No, I am not lying when I tell you I am honestly scared for you, babe.
That file's crazy old. It's not her whole story. It's not even accurate.
The crew did not survive.
The crew did not survive.
I'm sorry. We're in the crew.
Relatively straightforward. Too straightforward. I'm worried we're missing something.
I have full control of Sector 119.
Bullshit. You're here because you're a cringing little crybaby coward trying to end of time. Don't be a dick. Tell me how to stop the Furies. Tell me what I need to know. Their inner ears are particularly sensitive to high sonic frequencies. Noose used a sonic weapon to clear them out of Sector 119.
Braka has departed with the shuttle. We'll track his impulse signature as long as possible.
Understood.
The one and only Singularity Drive.
Direct hit! The Sargasso has been completely disabled.
I need 5.
Sam, watch out! What the?
She'll need a specialist, but she'll be okay. And that gives you the right to
How is she?
Her vitals are stable, but we don't know how long she'll be in a coma.
No way! Yes way!